Well, hello everybody. Today I'm going to be making apple butter. I'm going to shout out to Jim for giving me a great deal on all of these lovely apples from the farmer's market. We don't have any apple trees on our property yet, but keyword is yet. We're going to have them soon. So I am going to do a crock pot version of it. I've got lots of other things to do around the house, so I don't want to be inside watching a pot of apple mush. So I will be using the crock pot method, and then I'm going to take you along on this adventure.
I'm starting off by peeling 5 pounds of wine sap apples. You can choose any apple you prefer. I was just suggested the wine sap by a wise farmer, so I'm going to take his suggestion. Later, we will add 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, a ½ teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and a ¼ teaspoon of cloves, and a pinch of salt.
Alrighty team, you saw my super fancy dancy, it's a spiralizer, but it also has a peeling function. I got it as a wedding present. Thank you, Annie, Shell, and Uncle Buddy. You're the best. So as you can see, it's not perfect. It didn't get all of the peel off, but that's okay. It has definitely saved me some time and some hand pain. So I'm going to go through, peel off the little bits that need to be peeled off, core, and slice the rest of these guys. Actually, there is an attachment for this thing that can slice. So let's try that out. Look at that. It cores it too. Yeah. So guys, this is nutmeg. It's one of those warming fall spices, and it's a very popular one. But this is what a nutmeg nut looks like. I don't actually know too much about what it is, but it's a whole nutmeg, and I like to do this with all of my things. I like to have whole nutmegs and grate them myself. Microplaner. Careful about your fingers and your knuckles. That's why there's all the little bits left in there. I don't have the courage to use them. So I need a ½ teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Alrighty team, I also need cloves. And of course I don't have any pre-ground cloves, so I'm going to take some whole cloves, use my very fancy mortar and pestle, and make ground cloves. I only need a 1/4 teaspoon, so I don't need that much, but we're gonna put some elbow grease into it. You gotta earn that apple butter. Alright, and the last ingredient is ground cinnamon. I actually had ground cinnamon, so that's good. It's 1 tablespoon. I do love cinnamon.
Time to blend it up. I used an immersion blender because it's much easier to use in the crock pot. You can use a regular blender if you like, just be careful to make sure it doesn't splash and get on you. I let it cook for 1 more hour so that it would thicken up so that the wooden spoon would stand up on its own. Time to can the apple butter. You want to start with hot, sterilized jars, which means they've been in boiling hot water for 10 minutes. You then want to fill your jars leaving a 1/2 inch headspace using your funnel. Put your lids in hot water as well to sterilize them and to soften up the wax on them. Clean off the rims of your jars using a paper towel or a clean cloth dipped in hot water, and then place your lids on top of the jars, and then put the rings on top of the lids and tighten just to finger tight. Place sealed jars in boiling water bath canner for 10 to 15 minutes depending on your elevation. After the timer has gone off, turn off the heat and remove the lid to your canner and allow jars to sit for another 5 minutes. After that time, remove the jars from the pot and allow it to cool undisturbed for 24 hours. Make sure the lids seal. If they don't and the lid pops back on you when you press it in the center, place it in the fridge and enjoy as normal.
Alrighty team, my consensus is this is lovely. Since I use wine sap apples, they are a little bit tart, a little bit tangy, and it just gives that tartness to it. I love it. It's so good. It's going to keep me happy and warm all winter long. And look, it's nice and thick. My little spoon holds up in my jar. Yay! Alrighty team. Stay tuned for more farm adventures.